In this video, we'll be solving derivatives. And one thing you'll instantly notice that here it says simple. And that is because these questions are meant to be simple. These derivatives are fairly easy to solve for, but only if you know your formulas. And I'll tell you right now, if you want to solve more challenging derivatives, there's quite a bit of formulas you'll need to know. And the derivations for some of those formulas are quite challenging. So honestly, when you're getting started with derivatives, just know your formulas. As you progress in calculus, you will start learning the derivations of where those formulas come from, and that'll hopefully broaden your understanding of derivatives and calculus in general. So, anyways, just to recite, the purpose of this video right here is just to remind you of the rules that you'll need to use to solve more challenging problems. Now, this is part one of a three-part series where I'll just be solving derivatives, but in different difficulties. So today, it's going to be simple. The next video is going to be intermediate, and the video after that is going to be challenging. So, anyways, let's get right on to our first problem here. So f of x is equal to 2 to the power of 3x plus 2. And we're trying to solve for f prime of x, or the derivative of f. Now here, the most common mistake I see is people try to apply the power rule here. And the reason that doesn't work in this case is because for power rule to work, that means we have some function to the power of something. Could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 4. Problem is that this time our function is what's in the exponent and our base is just a constant. So here we actually need to apply the exponential derivative formula, which is just the derivative of some constant a to the power of some function u is going to be equal to a to the power of u times ln a du dx. Now that little du dx is just chain rule, but here is the full formula. And we can just apply that here. In this case, our a is just going to be 2. And we're going to have, here, let me just write f prime of x is equal to 2 to the power of 3 x plus 2. This times ln 2 times du dx, which is just derivative of 3x plus 2. And just completing this, we get 3x plus 2 times ln 2 times the derivative of 3x plus 2 is just going to be 3. And there you have it. F of x, or f prime of x, is equal to 3 times 2 to the power of 3x plus 2 times ln 2. And that is your full solution. Alright, so here is the second problem. In this case, g of x is equal to 7x cubed. And, our last problem was a exponential problem. Now it's really a power problem. We have some function x to the power of a constant. So in this case, if we have the derivative of some function u to the power of some constant a, well, that is just equal to a minus 1 du dx. This is one of the first formulas you'll learn in your calculus class, or anywhere. If you're going to be learning derivatives, this is probably one of the first things you will want to learn, even if you don't learn it. You'll encounter this formula a lot, and this type of function a lot. So in this case, g prime of x is going to be equal to, first of all, we can just pull out a 7, and then it's going to be the derivative of x cubed. And here we can just apply the power rule, so the 3 is just going to go in front. So it's going to be 7 times 3 times x to the power of 3 minus 1, which is just 7 times 3x squared, which is just 21x squared. 21x squared. And that will be your full solution. So here we have our third problem. In this case, f of x is equal to cosine x. And here we encounter another very common formula that you will be using throughout your calculus career, we'll just say. So in this case, we just apply the formula. Derivative of cosine of some function u is equal to negative sine u du dx, obviously, but that's again just chain rule. And just as an extra, I'll also state the same formula for sine, which is just cosine, and the chain rule. In this case, we don't have a full-blown function inside of the input of the cosine. It's just x. So this one's pretty simple. If you know the formula, f prime of x is going to be equal to simply just negative sine x. Notice how it's really simple if you just know your formulas. If you were to use the definition of a derivative for a problem like this, that could get very, very challenging. So please just know your formulas. But here you go. That is your full solution for this problem. Here is the fourth problem. Y is equal to square root of x, and we're trying to look for the derivative of y. So we've done power rule before. What you have to notice about this is that we can actually rewrite root x as x to the power of 1 over 2. And now if you just take the derivative of both sides, you get dy dx is equal to the derivative of x to the power of 1 over 2. And we can just apply the power rule. So the 1 over 2 is just going to be going to the front when we're taking the derivative. So it's going to be 1 over 2 x. And it's going to be that. And then 1 over 2 minus 1. And so we get that it is equal to 1 over 2 times x to the power of negative 1 over 2, which could all be rewritten as 1 over 2 times square root of x. And that would be your full solution. So here is the fifth or the last problem. So this time, again, we're just solving for the derivative of our function y in respect to x. So let's just go over this. We've done power rule twice already, and I'll give you a hint right now. This is going to be power rule again. It's just that if this is your first time, it's a little bit harder to spot in this case. So what we want to do here is we just want to rewrite x. We can rewrite our function, the whole thing, as x to the power of negative 1. We know that that is, well, actually shouldn't have the derivative operator. Y is equal to this, which is still equal to 1 over x. And now if we just apply the derivative operator to both sides, we get the derivative of x to the power of negative 1. And here again, we can just apply the power rule. So the negative 1 is just going to go to the front. So you get negative 1 times x to the power of negative 1 minus 1, which is just negative x to the power of negative 2. And we can simplify that further as negative 1 over x squared. And that will be your final solution for this problem. So again, this is a really quick video. Some of these problems are probably really, really simple for some of you, but there's definitely people that are getting started. And this is actually just to prepare you guys for the upcoming 2 videos where the functions are going to be much more complex and longer, and you might need to apply a series of these formulas. And I'll tell you right now, you'll definitely need some of these formulas for some of the problems that are going to be coming up. And so for this video, that'll be it, and I hope to see you in my next one.